All right, it's Rick and Sasha with George Wilborn on the phone with us, y'all. We got Roland Martin.
Hey, Roland, yes.
Bro.
How you doing, Martin?
I'm sorry. Why was only one person clapping?
I know, that's what I'm saying. Again, let's do it again.
Yeah,
y'all, we got
again,
Roland
guys,
Martin
that
on the
was
phone.
me.
Y'all, Roland Martin, y'all, come on now.
All right, just want to make sure the haters
two.
are aware.
my
It was
God.
two.
It's no
Sasha
haters
still
here,
didn't
honey.
clap for it.
Yeah. So Sasha gave that slow clap that was in the Breakfast Club.
right.
There it is, Roland. There it is right there, baby.
There you go.
Such a hater. Such a hater.
Now, Roland, we try our best to be on top of things, and we don't see how this one skirted under us. About 2 months ago, Ahmaud Arbery in Brunswick, Georgia, was stalked, shot, and killed by two white men.
Right.
What?
Well, here's why you didn't hear. What often happens is, let's just be real clear. What happened, this was a local story, and the only time it will get to you if it bubbles up to become a national story. And then what that requires the family, that requires having lawyers and others be able to contact people on the national level. When we saw the story and heard about it, we reached out to the Facebook page. The families told us to contact Lee Merritt, the family attorney, and then we had Lee on the show talking about this here. And what people don't realize is this did not take place last week. This took place February 23rd.
That's right.
And so these folks, and the thing is, it went to one prosecutor who then recused himself, then went to a second prosecutor who recused himself, and now it's at a third prosecutor. And let's just be clear, and I tweeted this out, and the retweets and likes have been crazy, but the prosecutor who said that he is taking this to a grand jury, this person is not a hero. That prosecutor has had this case for a month. That prosecutor has had this video for a month. The only reason this prosecutor now says, I'm taking it to the grand jury, is because somebody leaked it. That's the only reason. If we did not have this video, the initial story told by these two individuals, George McMichael and his son Travis, it was affirmed by police on the ground. It was affirmed by the first prosecutor, who said that these men were within their rights in terms of Georgia's statute when it comes to being able to a citizen's arrest.
Right.
Yet now, but what's crazy is that the video was shot by a third person who was with them in pursuit of Arbery.
All right, Roland. So this Ahmaud Arbery case that happened in Brunswick, Georgia, back in February. No one knew about it. It has now been transferred from Brunswick County to Ware County. For those that were not listening, just catch us up to speed with this.
Yeah, that these two white men, brother was jogging, and all of a sudden they chased after him, assuming that he was involved in some burglars in the area. All of a sudden they accost him, 2 shots fired, he's dead, and these two have been free for 2 months.
Here's the 911 call.
And you said someone's breaking into it right now?
No, it's all open. It's under construction, and he's running right now. There he goes right now.
Okay, what is he doing?
He's running down the street.
He's running
down the street. So the story was they saw a house that was being constructed, claimed that he was trying to break in. And then they thought they saw the same person running, and they went back to get their guns, a .357 and a shotgun, and they gunned him down.
So here's the problem with this. First of all, I had some lawyers on my show, Roland Martin Unfiltered, and you can't claim a break-in of a house under construction with no doors.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
What are you breaking into?
Right.
Precisely. That's precisely.
I could be a contractor on the job.
Precisely. Two, they claim that's what they saw, but nobody actually saw it.
No.
Apparently some woman started yelling, and they were like, oh, and then they took off. So all of these different things that you're hearing about what they did and in terms of who he was, it's like, well, wait a minute, hold up. So he was the one who was breaking in. So what was he grabbing? What was he stealing? They claimed that there were other burglaries in the area, and they said that he fit the description. Well, here's the problem with that. How do you know what was the description? I mean, was the description passed around the community? And then if it happened on another day, what? He's wearing the same clothes? The dude was in shorts and a T-shirt.
Right.
See, that's why. And so the problem here is that you have the initial prosecutor because McMichael worked as an investigator in the prosecutor's office.
Yeah.
So you have those, but the thing is, the prosecutor, before he recuses himself, he basically writes a document serving as the defense attorney for McMichael and lays out why he simply felt that he had self-defense. How are you stating that you had self-defense when you had the shotgun and this guy was unarmed? See,
Roland,
that's what's crazy.
Roland, did you watch the whole video?
Yes, I did.
And how did you feel after you watched that?
Well, I've seen none of these videos before.
Yeah.
So again, look, I deconstructed the video. If you watch the video, you have Arbery who's running down the street. He's just jogging. All of a sudden, he sees this truck guy standing outside. So what does he do? He just goes on the right side of the truck. Then they begin to yell at him. He's like, what the hell? First of all, Arbery was under no obligation to stop.
All right.
There's no, just because two white men tell you, hey, we want to talk to you, you don't.
Well, they're not saying that. One's got a shotgun, one's got a 357. I'm sure they didn't have it concealed. I'm sure they had it by this time pointed at him, which we couldn't see from the angle of the video. But I'm sure that shotgun was sticking out of the window.
No. Here's what happened. The guy, the Travis McMichael, was outside of the truck, door open, and he was facing the direction where Arbery was running in one direction. He was facing him.
That's the son.
That's the son. The dad was in the back of the truck. Okay.
Great.
Arbery runs to the right of the truck, then comes on the other side. Then you hear on the audio them yelling at him.
Wow.
And that's what you have. And so again, that's what's crazy, because they say a black man was in a white T-shirt inside of a house under construction. Okay, but what? That's what you're dealing with here. But the problem here is the first prosecutor, and that is George Barnhill. He's part of the problem because what he did was, before recusing himself, he basically writes a document outlining all that happened and absolving McMichael of any wrongdoing.
It's Rick and Sasha. We're talking to Roland Martin on the phone right now, unfiltered. Roland, thank you for taking the time to talk to us right now, man. We're talking about Ahmaud Arbery. He's a young man who was killed in Brunswick, Georgia, for allegedly breaking into to a house, which was, as you said earlier, the doors were open. There were no doors there.
Under construction.
Right. He was shot and killed as if he were an animal.
Remember, it has not been proven that Arbery was actually near that property, running out of that property. That's simply what they say.
Right. So door, no door, it's not proven that he was there. This Georgia law, this citizen's arrest, tell us about that.
If you go to the GeorgiaLegalAid.org website, this is what it says. As a private citizen, you have no authority to arrest anyone with a warrant. Without a warrant, you may arrest anyone who commits a misdemeanor or a felony in your presence or with your immediate knowledge. A citizen's arrest occurs when a citizen prevents a suspect from leaving a scene. Citizen's arrests most often happen in cases like shoplifting. However, even in shoplifting, the manager or employee cannot make such an arrest in every case. So in order for this citizen's arrest to apply, they would have had to witness this crime taking place, or they would have had to have someone say, again, being in that particular area. None of that's been established. And so for you to then use force, now here's what they say right here, legal aid. When making a citizen's arrest, a person may not use more force than is reasonable to make the arrest. Now, here's the problem with that. You say he was breaking into something. He's jogging. We see the video. Nothing is in his hands. So exactly where do you think you have the right with your shotgun and 357 to hold him and stop him?
Yeah,
that's
absolutely
a fundamental problem.
Yeah. Who was Ahmaud, as far as you know, Roland? Who was he?
He's like any other story we've done like this here. A black man who lived in America.
Right.
And see, that's the whole deal. The reason we learn about and Ahmaud Arbery is because he's dead.
Yeah.
No one knew Trayvon Martin. No one knew Tamir Rice. I mean, other than the family, obviously. I'm not dismissing that, but they become martyrs or household names because their cases become national because of these thugs out here who have no regard for black life. Yeah. That's what you have here. And so his family says he was always jogging. He was always running. But you're telling me that, and what was more galling here is that here we are in May. This happened February 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They have been free more than 2 months. Not only that, the third prosecutor announces yesterday that they are going to take it to the grand jury. Let me be real clear, everybody listening. A prosecutor does not have to take the case to a grand jury. They could have charged and arrested them, then gone before a judge to determine if bail should be set, and then gone to the grand jury. So the prosecutor, this is the way out. Oh, I believe there's sufficient evidence to warrant it going to the grand jury. But here's the problem. Because of coronavirus, grand juries are not being impaneled in Georgia till at least June.
It's a damn shame. Damn shame. A
really
father and a son. Yeah.
Roland, I know there's a petition out there, too, that we all need to sign to get behind this family. Do you know anything about that petition?
Well, yeah, the petition. You also have the NAACP there who's calling on the governor to step in. Yesterday, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation also announced that they are going to be launching an investigation. And according to Lee Merritt, this prosecutor had not, up until yesterday, had not even contacted the Georgia Bureau of Investigation for their assistance in this. They were hoping this was going to go away.
Unfortunately.
And unfortunately, this is why black folks have to take these things national in order to force them to do what's right. And that is to look into this case.
That's right. That's why we need to come together. We've got our platform. Roland, you've got your large platform, and we're going to continue to keep the story alive until justice is sought out. Roland, tell people where they can find you and continue getting the story.
Of course, we stream every day, RolandMartinUnfiltered.com, and then, of course, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope. So just go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, and we'll be live talking about this every single day. So until we get answers.